sponsorship, and Hikaru took some lessons from Garry. Learned a little bit, but at the end, it felt like Garry was overwhelming. And F4.
Every single board.
F5.
And B4.
Wow, that was a real stunner.
Well, the point is, you get an exchange, I get an exchange. This is what they've worked out. If you take on A7, I can take on A7.
Check this out.
But
You're
B4.
saying the same from Fabiano versus
Sam Savion, and Sam played B5.
B5 gets a big fat question mark. Why?
What?
Why does B5?
Question marks on move 1 and 2.
Why does B5 get a big question mark? What is the trick?
The pawn on A7 is just hanging.
Well, the pawn on A, normally speaking, you get a position where you have the move, you have the extra half move. You can make it worthwhile, make it count, if you will. Let's say knight F3. I don't see this as being any. I'm looking.
Knight F6.
Yeah, but here's the
knight
trick.
F9.
Yeah, but nobody went down this path, right? That they could have taken on A7. Instead, after F4, F5, everybody's played B4, and we saw one B5, we saw one B6. I'm wondering, why did we play B4 after knight B3?
Yeah,
B6?
we have that in game Levon against Lanier.
Okay.
We have knight B6.
Let me go to that game.
It's the only game where we have some moves on the board so far, so
everybody else is
thank you.
stuck. F4, F5, B4. Knight. Exactly. You can't just allow the rook to go back. Remember, the knight on c5 was protected by a pawn on d4 that's now gone.
The longer Hikaru thinks, though, the longer Hikaru thinks, the more confident Garry will become. The longer he thinks. Garry hopes Hikaru spends another minute right now, just giving it. Because you see, Gary's not moving at all. His body is just frozen at the moment, and he wants to breathe just a little bit, depending on what Hikaru does. And the more he looks at it, wait a minute now, this guy.
So we're looking at the consequences of capturing B the rook, and at the end of the day, black will have queen and pawn.
Queen and 2 pawns, unless you lose.
Queen and 2 pawns, I apologize. As compensation for the 2 rooks. But with the dark square bishop,
The attacker favors the attacker.
exactly.
And Garry is taking off what is not a watch. We used to always say,
Yeah.
Gary's taking off the watch, but now he's taking off whatever that thingy was on his wrist. And that means trouble for Hikaru. We know when Garry takes, I don't know if he knows this, but when Garry used to take off his jacket, when he took off the watch, it mean he was down to business. When he took off the jacket, it was like, oh boy, all hell was going to break loose. If he puts it back on, you resign.
Yeah. It was
It's ready
like,
to go, right?
He's ready. It's like,
time's up.
and now he's starting to feel it. Now the confidence is coming. He's going, okay, I see some lines. This guy's thinking for a long time, and not bad, not bad. It wasn't a blunder.
Right.
It's concerned Hikaru, and Hikaru's in a deep thought right now with 6 minutes left on the clock. This would be amazing. Both leaders are busted, by the way, according to the engine.
Wow.
Both leaders are busted.
And he's taking no knight b7, by the way. No knight b7. That's even worse. That means 3 pawns, right?
He just didn't want Garry's queen to get active on e3.
I don't know. That's 3 pawns. Just a second. I'm gonna play.
Still getting the c6 pawn right now.
I'm not sure. I'm gonna go e6, king f6.
Can you make progress? If you move the d pawn or the bishop, then I'm getting the pawn.
Yeah, it's kind of hard.
Yeah,
That C
I
pawn
can
looks
get
like
out
it's
of
going to go. Gary's just going to wait a little bit, put his king on a safer square. H6 will be
Makes sense.
safer still before he makes any breaks.
Wow. And again, clock times, this has happened with
Same time for Garry. So
90 seconds. Okay. So I'm thinking you put the king on a safer square. I agree. King h6. Let's say we wait, then we put our bishop on, let's say, an anchor square, and then we go in, right? We go for it.
Okay, he's thinking too long. Now he's taking too time.
Okay,
He's at 111.
king h6,
He's looking for a specific way to win. Waste some, just play a move.
h6. That's a surprise.
That's
A surprise.
a little bit scary.
Okay, but he has his ideas. He wants to play g5, g4. Ooh,
Naka understood that he had to do something.
no.
now I can move the bishop.
Now I'm gonna be 3. Oh,
And now he's repeating once.
Winning time.
Fine. Oh no!
a draw.
No, that confidence just left him in that moment. His clock. It was the clock.
It was the clock.
It was the clock. He saw the opportunity and failed.
Oh boy, we're gonna quickly switch. A big miss there. I don't think Garry understood the enormous advantage he had at the
Yes.
very end there.
That puts Naka in a tie with Bobby at the moment.
But-
Bobby with a dead lost position.
When
Bobby's
we
down a
looked at-
piece.